No matter where you live on Earth, you probably don't feel particularly isolated. You've got family and friends nearby. And if you ever need anything, you can just hop in your car and drive to the nearest shop or restaurant. But imagine living where there's no internet, no neighbors, and the closest town is weeks away. Here are 7 of the most isolated places on Earth, some you've never even heard of. Number 7. Tristan da Cunha. Tristan da Cunha is an archipelago of volcanic origin that consists of 3 islands in the southern part of the Atlantic Ocean. The archipelago is a British overseas territory and is the most remote inhabited place on Earth. Located 2,800 kilometers from the coast of South Africa and 3,400 kilometers from St. Helena, there are only around 240 people living on Tristan da Cunha, with around 100 of them living on Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It's the largest island. A boat from Cape Town, South Africa arrives once a year with supplies for the islanders. In the past, whaling ships and fishing vessels would stop by. But nowadays, the population mainly survives off of farming and tourism. Since its discovery in 1506, only about 30,000 people have ever set foot on Tristan da Cunha. Number 6. Alert, Nunavut, Canada. Alert is a small research settlement on Ellesmere Island in the Canadian Arctic. Located on the northernmost point of Canada, Alert sits at 82 degrees north, which is closer to the North Pole than any other permanent human settlement. Because it's so far north, it experiences extreme cold and only receives a few hours of sunlight per day during the winter months. It's also incredibly isolated. The nearest other community is Grijsfjord, which is 260 kilometers away across the ice. If you want to travel to Alert, you can reach it by helicopter or by dog sled. No. 5. Itarkurmut, Greenland. This settlement in Greenland is located on the island of Disco Island, which lies off the west coast of Greenland. Only around 450 people live here, making it one of the most isolated communities in the world. There are no roads connecting the settlements in Greenland, so the only way to get to Isordakortormit is by boat or by plane. In the winter months, heavy snow makes reaching the settlement by boat impossible, so the only option is by plane. Number 4. Pitcairn Island. Pitcairn Island is a small volcanic island in the Indian Ocean. It was formed by volcanic activity and is the only inhabited island in the Pitcairn Islands. It's a British overseas territory. The island is home to around 50 people, all of whom are descendants of the crew members of the Bounty mutineers and their Polynesian partners. There are no shops, schools, or hospitals on the island. Getting to Pitcairn Island is also extremely difficult. You can only reach it by boat, and it takes about 2 weeks to get there from the nearest major city, which is Cape Town, South Africa. No. 3. La Rinconada, Peru. La Rinconada is a mining town in the Peruvian Andes. It sits at an altitude of 5,100 meters above sea level, making it the highest legally inhabited place on Earth. There are around 50,000 people who live here, most of whom work in the town's large open pit mines. The town has no proper roads, and it's accessible only by a rough track, which can be traveled by 4x4 vehicles or on foot. Houses are made of wood and are built over permanent ice, meaning that cars must often be dug out of ice layers in order to be moved. It takes around 16 hours to reach La Rinconada by car from the nearest major city, Lima. No. 2. Oymyakon, Russia. Oymyakon is a small village in eastern Russia. It has a population of just under 500 people and is known for being the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. The average January temperature is minus 43 degrees Celsius. The only way to reach Oymyakon is by a rough dirt road, which can only be traveled by 4x4 vehicles. During the winter months, this road becomes impassable and the village is cut off from the rest of the world. People in Oymyakon rely on the ice roads in order to transport goods in and out of the village. These ice roads are only available during the winter months, when the river freezes over. Number 1. Motu County, Tibet. Motu County is a mountainous region in Tibet, China. The region is home to around 50,000 people and is one of the most isolated places in the world. Till 2013, the only way to reach Motuo was on foot or by horse. There is a rough dirt road that leads to Motuo, but it's often blocked by landslides and rockfalls. There are no bridges in Motuo, and the only way to cross the rivers is by swimming or by using a rope cart. And if you want to see an uninhabited, isolated place, check out our bonus entry, Bouvet Island. Bouvet Island is a Norwegian island in the Indian Ocean. It's about 2,000 kilometers from the coast of South Africa, and there are no people living on the island. The island is mostly covered in glaciers, and the only way to reach it is by boat or by plane. Comment below which of these places would you love to visit. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.